Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of In Silence. On the other side of suffering is freedom. On the other side of pain is bliss. On the other side of sadness, depression, misery, despair is happiness. On the other side of fear is hope. On the other side of doubt is faith. I came here to sow the seeds, the good seeds in your life. I'm waiting here for you on the other side so that you may step into the other side. But the question is, how do you move from one side to the other? How do you move from suffering, deep, painful suffering, into freedom? There are many ways that we suffer. But how do you move from whatever type of suffering you go through to freedom? Well, first of all, I'm here to tell you that it is absolutely possible, no matter what type of suffering you face. It's possible to step into the other side. But it's going to take time, it's going to take patience, it's going to take persistence, it's going to take discipline, it's going to take focus, it's going to take willpower, it's going to take your whole heart, your whole soul. But you'll get to reap the rewards. On the other side of failure is success. And I'm here to help you succeed. So how do you move from a place of deep suffering? Because I remember I was in deep suffering. I understand that there are many people that suffer in the world, and for various reasons. There are many different types of suffering. But the main thing is that most suffering is mind-made suffering. Most suffering is generated by your mind. So and it's unnecessary. So if you can get rid of that unnecessary mental, mind-made suffering, you can step into the other side of freedom. You can be happy through hard times. For many people, happiness is some fleeting moment of pleasure that comes from the world. I need you to recognize that the world and whatever it can give you, whether it be some type of relationship or worldly success or a lot of money or fame or power or pleasures like food or sex, whatever the world can give you, it is all impermanent. And if you see the impermanence of things, you stop depending on these things for happiness. So how do we move from the other side of to the other side of suffering? How do we move from suffering to freedom? From pain to bliss? From doubt to faith? From fear to hope? By recognizing the impermanence of things. No matter how bad it is impermanent. The state that you face, the things, the situations, the circumstances, the loss, the sickness, the breakup, the depression, the poverty, whatever you face, it's all impermanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. It all changes, it all comes and it goes. And if you can get to a place where you can see the things of the world as just coming and going, you become detached from the things of the world. You become detached from whatever is giving you pain. And once you're detached, you're in your natural state. Your natural state is unattached. It is not attached to anything at all. And it's pure bliss, very natural, effortless, pure being. And this natural state comes from self-awareness, from self-control, from being the observer of your mind, giving your undivided attention to the present moment. All life is one moment after another where life unfolds. The question is, what is your state during this unfolding of life? What is your state from moment to moment? It doesn't have to be up and down, left and right, and always facing the conflict of opposite states. Happy, unhappy, fearful, faithful. It doesn't have to be all. What I'm trying to say is that you can get to a place where you are happy no matter what. And remember, here, happiness doesn't depend on things. It doesn't mean excitement. It doesn't mean hype. Ooh, I'm so happy. It's not like that. It's just a subtle state of peace. And you can have peace. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning time. All things in life are impermanent. Be mindful of this. In each moment, be mindful of the impermanence of life. Detach yourself from worldly things. Don't be too attached to the world, because if you're attached to things in the world, whether it be a person, a place, a thing, whatever it is, whatever you're attached to, your attachments are the root of your misery. The root cause of your suffering is in your attachments. So find out, what are you attached to, and detach from it completely. We all suffer loss, but we don't have to continually suffer loss. We can grieve and move on. We can grieve for a short time, move on. If you understand that your natural state is already happy, your natural state is already at peace, then you can step to the other side of suffering. But to do that, you need to be very mindful of life as it unfolds moment by moment. Mindful of the bigger picture of life. Mindful of how you are connected to everything. Mindful of how life is impermanent. Mindful of how you are not separate from the source, not separate from life. You are life itself. And that your role is vital. But also, nothing really matters in the bigger picture of life, from a universal, from a cosmic perspective. Nothing really matters. But we take things so seriously, so personally, because we're attached to things. We may be attached to people, attached to ideas, attached to opinions, attached to some political side, attached to an idea of greatness, attached to success, worldly success, attached to whatever it is. When I was suffering badly, I fought hard to win myself back from the world. I was in deep pain, but I knew that that's not how it's gonna end. I knew that there was another side to pain. There was another side. I knew that one day I would step over to that other side. And it took time, it took patience, it took resilience. I had to endure a lot. It took endurance. It took persistence. Persistence in practicing wisdom. Persistence in detaching myself from everything. Persistence in learning about myself, learning about life. Persistence in being open. Persistence in being humble, living in humility. Persistence in being virtuous and having moral character. Persistence in all areas of my life. In my health, in my relationships, in what I do. And sooner or later, I was able to transform that suffering, all of my suffering, slowly. And I'm telling you this because I'm here to tell you it's possible for you too, to transform your suffering. But to do that, it's like an art. You have to be real patient. You have to be very observant. You have to have a certain level of self-awareness. In fact, you can only grow in self-awareness. So the more self-awareness you have, the more you will grow. The more you will grow, the more you will mature in wisdom and emotionally be strong and independent. And then when you know who you are by heart, when you know that everything is impermanent and that your happiness does not rely on anything at all, then you are able to be happy. You're able to enjoy all that life has to offer. You are able to enjoy what you already have now, no matter how little, no matter how much it is. You're able to enjoy it to the fullest. You will not take life for granted. But here's the problem. When you're not mindful, when you're not self-aware, when you're chasing after pleasures, when you're trying to avoid pain, when you're not having faith in taking the step to the other side of suffering, then you're bound to be unhappy. Freedom awaits you though. And this is my message that I'm here to give today. Freedom awaits you. Peace, absolute peace, undisturbed peace is possible. I'm saying this from my own experience. Great happiness is possible. And you don't need to achieve much. You don't need to, it's not about what the world can give you. It's about what you can give. And once you know who you are, and you know who you are once you detach yourself from worldly things and not be dependent on worldly things, then you slowly know who you are. And once you do that, you're detached. And once you're detached, you can enjoy all that life has to offer. You will not take life for granted anymore. You will enjoy the simple things. You've heard it so much. Enjoy the little things, the simple things. But really, how much do you enjoy? And how deep is your enjoyment of these things? Perhaps your enjoyment of things are very momentary, fleeting. But I'm here to tell you, you can have a stable, lasting happiness. and that it is absolutely possible for you to do that. And you don't need anything except your own self. You need your faith, you need your discipline to grow in self-awareness and self-control. When you do that, I guarantee that you will step to the other side of suffering, where real freedom awaits, where real peace awaits, where real love awaits, and lasting happiness awaits. Most people attach happiness to many things in the world. Most people attach freedom, for example, freedom to being something financial. But it's not real. It's not true. It's not even, it's just an idea. It's just a belief. And if you see those people that pursue these things, pursue financial freedom so that they can have great happiness, pursue money, fame, power, wealth, sex, food, worldly success. Pursue these things to have happiness. They end up not being happy because they haven't seen the most important thing about whatever it is in this life, in this world, that it is all impermanent. So if you do that, I believe and declare you will step into a new sense of self, full of joy, full of peace, full of love, enthusiastic about your own life, and free, happy, liberated at all times. Thank you. I'll see you next time.